your audience with His Royal Majesty Alexander, the great and honorable sovereign of this, our beloved kingdom of Kaid.
Good evening, Kate. It's wonderful to see you again. I'm so happy you all could tune in to watch this new Royal Thursday. Please forgiving me for not having my better half with me. Unfortunately, Her Majesty, after working several long shifts, had a dental appointment as well today. She is exhausted, needs her sleep, and doesn't speak so good right now. So I'm afraid you're going to have to deal with this alone tonight. As we go in, the first thing I wanted to talk about, there's been a few changes, but not a lot. But I do want to make sure that everybody's aware of the things that have happened. The Board of Directors has put out their plan to move forward for the SCA during this time of COVID. And we are going to essentially be in hibernation between now and January of next year in the hopes that in that time period, they will be able to find a vaccine or a cure, something along those lines so that we can all go out and play again. But in the meantime, face-to-face in public gatherings are going to be a no-no. So, but online gatherings are still going to be a thing that we want to do and continue to do so we can see the lovely faces of everyone in our kingdom. Speaking of lovely faces and things online, a special shout out to House Red Oak. In the Inter-Kingdom Scavenger Hunt on July 4th weekend, they came 26 out of 39 teams. They were the only team from Kaid to enter. Good on them. Thank you so much, folks, for helping out and being there. Well done on that challenge. And Her Ladyship Maminka, the Bohemian from Antir, thank you so much. You helped out our heralds with some promissory notes. We are greatly pleased by this. Thank you for all the help you've done. It is much appreciated. As COVID has hit our kingdom, and so many people now are concerned about the well-being of our kingdom, and as I have said over and over again, we will not risk one single life here. But for that to happen, that means we all have to stay home and protect ourselves and take care of ourselves, and events are no longer happening. And because events are no longer happening, the kingdom and the SCA as a whole are still having difficulty because they're having expenses that we are no longer paying for with our memberships and with our events. And this is causing undue strain, if you will, on the SCA. Recently, however, I was in a chat that had several of my chivalric brothers in it. And one of them made the comment, I just declined re-upping my membership because it does nothing for me. Because it's not worth paying that amount every year just to receive a newsletter. And that is what I want to address now. For those of you that are out there wondering if you should re-up your membership or is it worth it, I would humbly put this point to you. You're not paying for $5 off to get into an event. You're not paying for that newsletter. What you're paying for is Sloth Boy. What you're paying for is the Disney Duchess and Giuseppe the Dance Master, the Faiza. That's what you're paying for. We're paying for a world that we have created. We're paying for a family and a history that now the SCA has. We are paying for the interactions of human beings that create this magnificent family. The artwork that is created from the historical perspective, that is what you are paying for so that this can keep going on, so that a dream can continue. My daughter plays in the SCA. Both my sons play in the SCA. My mother plays in the SCA. 3 generations of my family play in the SCA. And that's what I'm paying my membership for, so that my kids and their kids can see this magnificent thing that we have created. That's what our membership is for. It's not so you can get $5 off at an event. Please, I humbly ask all of you, remember what this society gives you. Think of how much time you've donated to this society, how much time you've given playing this game, the things that you have received back from it. I can't speak for all of you, obviously, but speaking for my family, we have felt this pandemic to our core. Our days that were filled, every day filled with something SCA fun is gone for us right now. We are now limited to this very small, trivial piece of online SCA that is wonderful and all the things that people have done with it, but it's still not seeing my family face to face. This pandemic has shown how many hours that we truly spend doing this game, this hobby of ours. And we have a saying here in our area that it's not a hobby, it's not a game, it's a lifestyle, and it truly is. So for me to pay this amount, our membership, to pay that membership every year is so trivial for all that I get back from it. The people who are in there are the 10-year-old princess history, the Duke Guy and his castle history of Caid, all the interactions that we have with the people in this kingdom. That is what we are paying for. And I would humbly ask all of you to try to remember that when your membership comes up. And more importantly, if you can give now is the time to give, because our society needs it. The kingdom needs it, and the society as a whole needs it. So I would humbly ask all of you, please give if you can, because now is the time. We need to make sure that this hobby, this game, this dream that we call the SCA is here for our children and their children. Onto a similar topic, if you will, but very important to me and equally as passionate. I've been asked several times about, well, what's going to happen with coronation now that we have pushed all this out? You know, will we do a virtual coronation for their highnesses? I can tell you that I have spoken to all of the kings and queens who are now currently reigning and their heirs. And the one theme that continues to resonate through all of us is that coronation is magic in the SCA. It's like nothing else. Yes, when you fight in crown, you agree to rule no matter what. And I absolutely believe that. However, no one could have told me and had me expect and be prepared for a pandemic to happen during my reign. But now that it has, and I'm prepared to rule through it and do what I must do to continue to keep the SCA strong, the one thing I want to make sure that happens is the magic of the SCA continues to also be strong. In coronation, I've now seen some people try it online. And even the people that did it online have said to me, don't do it. It takes away the magic that is the SCA. It takes away that incredible feeling people get, not just the people taking the throne, but the people who are involved in it. Have it in person, have it when you're face to face. So now that the board of directors has made their intent perfectly clear, and we are all to follow it, it is my intent to try to get us to go to a point where we can have that coronation in person. There has been good news in the scientific community recently about cures and vaccines for COVID. I am thrilled to hear that we are close to a vaccine. That is a wonderful news, and that hopefully it'll be out by then. And if that is the case, then obviously we will have one. If not, Her Majesty and I have said we will sit this throne until January, but come January, we will definitely be stepping down. And at that point, their highnesses will have to decide how they wish to proceed. But my recommendation will be to them to either put in a regent if necessary, or somebody to hold that spot until a coronation can be done in person, where the magic can be felt by us all, because we need this magic after this time off. Let's reinvigorate this kingdom with that magic once we are able to see each other face to face again. I would like to remind everybody at this point that if you do have questions, please post them now. I'm going to try to keep this one brief and short today and limit my comments if possible. The few things that I do want to mention: there is an online court August 29th at 1 p.m. That online court will be for August. So if you had an anniversary that was missed or is coming up, please contact the kingdom so that we can get you on that court. And from that point, we will be doing them bi-monthly. We have found that once a month is quite a bit, and we don't quite need to do them that much. So we're going to try and do them every other month. So the next one will not be September. It will be in October. And then December will be the one after that. So you can plan ahead if you want to get something on an online court. This will also be the last Royal Thursday I will be doing. Provided there's no emergency announcement that must come out, we have found that the information now is being put out in many other ways, live from Caid, on the websites, and you can definitely find them. And if need be, we will post something on live from Caid, and I will speak the words that need to be said from that particular platform. It's been a pleasure to do this, but now I'm just making work for poor Master Laertes on Thursdays, and I don't want to have to do that to him. So at this point, let me make sure I've got nothing else there. I do not believe so. Do we have any questions?
happens to Caid if the SCA shuts down?
That's a great question. I don't have an answer for it, unfortunately. There has been much discussion about that. I do not think the SCA will shut down. If it were to shut down, I'm assuming Caid would shut down with it. The SCA right now is hurting for money. It's not to the point where they're looking for bankruptcy or anything like that, but something that should be remembered is that all the funds within the known world from all the kingdoms belong to the SCA. So should the SCA need, it will start to pull from the kingdoms, and the kingdoms will be the first to feel that burden. So if the SCA were to shut down, Caid, I'm relatively confident, will have already felt that and have to shut down itself. Let's prevent that. We should just definitely fight to not let that happen. And right now, I do not believe that we are in jeopardy of that happening. In talking to the people I've spoken with, in speaking with the board members and hearing what they have to say, and our own financial officers, we're good through what I feel is going to be a safe period in COVID for us to get a vaccine.
Another question. Wow, who does your hair, Your Majesty?
My lovely wife does my hair. She is magnificent and is able to do so many things. And gosh, she's truly the most wonderful person in my life. She comes home after working these brutal 12-hour shifts at a hospital, and here I am with mottled hair and things pointing here and pointing there, and I've got the clippers in my hand. Please, baby, help me. Her Majesty does my hair.
Alrighty, thank you very much, Your Majesty. So here concludes the audience with His Royal Majesty Alexander. We thank you for your presence here. We look forward to seeing you at our online court. Stay safe, stay healthy, and have a good night.